The following is a production of CUTV Sports.
From the Sports Center on the campus of University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown. Tonight, it's get down to crunch time in the PSAC West as we have a women's basketball matchup tonight between the California Vulcans and the Pitt-Johnstown Lady Cats. Hello and welcome to the broadcast, everyone. My name is Matt Hagee. Alongside me is Damon Matson. And Damon, the Vulcans last game had a bit of a weird date of starting. They played on Sunday, but they still got the job done.
Yeah, it was a different day. They played on Sunday afternoon, but they did get the job done in dominating fashion, beating Clarion 76-53. They were doing so well on offense and defense, both sides of the ball. So we'll see if they carry that into tonight's game as well.
As for the Lady Cats, it's been a rough stretch for them lately. They lost their 7th in a row on Sunday on the road against Seton Hill.
And it was a very tough loss to take because it was a very close game against Seton Hill. They lost 83-77. They were in it just till the end. They just couldn't pull it out right near the end. So we'll see if they look to rebound here tonight.
And they're almost down as much as 20 against Seton Hill area. The last time these two teams faced was back in December at the Convocation Center, where California scored their second straight win over them in the series.
And California, once again, like they have been doing recently, won that game in dominant fashion over UPJ, 83-60. So it'll be interesting to see how UPJ comes to respond against Cal here tonight.
And for our players to watch tonight, we're going to take a look at the hottest Vulcan player right now in terms of scoring. And the interesting about this, she returns home to the team she used to play for, UPJ.
That's right. Caitlin Fratz for the Vulcans is the player that we're going to watch. She did used to play for UPJ before she came over to the Vulcans. And, of course, in that last game against Clarion, she was shooting the longest threes I've ever seen her take this season, and she had 23 points in that big win last Sunday.
The player to watch, we have UPJ, also has a thing of shooting some threes from Uniontown, Pennsylvania, Kelsey Slater.
That's right, Kelsey Slater, just down the road from California. She is one of the biggest offensive players on this UPJ team, 16.5 points per game, so look for her to be a big factor on their offense here tonight.
Should be a great matchup tonight between the California Vulcans and the UPJ Lady Cats. We have tip-off next here on CUTV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Welcome back to the UPJ Sports Complex here on the campus of UPJ in Johnstown. This matchup tonight will be between the California Vulcans and the Pitt-Johnstown Lady Cats. And once again, my name is Matt Hagee. Alongside me is Damon Madsen. And Damon, let's take a look at the tail of the tape.
You can take a look at the tail of the tape here. Both these teams pretty offensive-minded. Of course, Cal scoring about 73 points per game, and then UPJ's actually ahead of them on the stat sheet in that category with 78. But you can see one of the bigger things that Cal has in their favor. They do not turn the ball over very much, and they also are pretty decent at three-pointers as well. We saw that in the last game as well, so look for the Vulcans to take advantage of that, and they do steal the ball a lot. 12.5 steals a game for the Vulcans. Amazing.
It's a very opportunistic defense that provides so many steals, including upsetting IUP last week, then Clarion. They've been on a roll right now, as you see head coach Jess Strum here. We're going to get the California starters. You see she's about ready to lead our troops in a quest for the PSAC championship. And here's the starters, Dayton.
That's right. It's the typical 5 for the Vulcans here tonight. We got number 2, Emma Mahadi, kicking it off. And then we got number 11, Caitlin Fratz, with a fantastic game, 23 points against Clarion this past Sunday. Then we got number 12, Lana Dorn, of course, a big rebounding force underneath for the Vulcans. Then we got, always reliable on offense, number 21, Mickey Glenn. And then rounding out your starting 5 is going to be number 22, Irina Kuko.
And as for the UPJ Lady Cats, there's one change in the starting lineup from December. There's no Jasmine Harper, but here's the starting lineup.
And for the UPJ, we started out, instead of Jasmine Harper, we got number 10, Olivia Rizzo. And then we got the player to watch tonight for UPJ, and that is Kelsey Slater, number 11. She's going to be a big factor on their offense tonight. Then we got number 30, Nicole Carmen. And then right after her is following her, number 32, Leah Hansen. And finally, rounding out UPJ's starting lineup here tonight against the Vulcans is number 40, Olivia McCabe.
And you see head coach there, Mike Drehos, for the Lady Cats. This is his second season with the team. He got them out to a good start, but like we said earlier, 7 straight, and they've really slipped down in the PSAC standings, but they're still hanging on to 6th, but they're tied with Slippery Rock and have them right on their neck.
That's right. Pitt-Johnstown right now just basically fighting to stay into this playoff race. Those 7 straight losses are a huge hit as far as their chances for that, but that's why we got to watch out for them tonight. They're going to be a dangerous team looking to stay in that playoff spot here tonight against the top-ranked Vulcans in the PSAC West.
It's a team that can shoot at will. As we see, it's going to be the normal starting 5 for Cal and UPJ. Anytime they can come back there. It's a home court. It's a weird court. It's the only court in the PSAC that has clay. It is not a hardwood court because they have a huge wrestling program, a rubber court, a huge wrestling school. They have won the national championship 2 times in 1996 and 1999. But it'll be Irina Kuko and Olivia McCabe. The referee has the ball in the air. Tip is away, and it's controlled by Mickey Glenn. Glenn will take it back here and hand it off to Caitlin Fratz at the point. Fratz, the high scorer, is going up against Slater, and that kicks it back out to Doran. Doran goes to the basket, flips it up, too short, rebounded by Carmen. Carmen will take it back for UPJ, and guarded by Doran, hands it off to Rizzo. Rizzo looking for somebody gives it to Hansen. Hansen will back up and run around. Hands it back off to Carmen. It's weird not seeing Harper out there. The team's looking great. Carmen with a jumper. In and out of the rim, rebounded by Kuko.
That was a quick transition by UPJ right there. Vulcan's going to slow it down a little bit right now, but I was even surprised how fast they came out on that transition game to start out.
Mickey Glenn, she had 17 against Clarion, handed off to Kuko. Kuko, who's come on strong leg for the Vulcans. She'll pull back for a jumper, and he rims it in. Irina Kuko, like she did last Wednesday at IUP, gets it off for the Vulcans starting. It's 2-0.
She had a big game on offense against IUP. Kind of was quiet this past Sunday against Clarion.
Glenn steals it from Rizzo. Here comes Glenn, the opportunistic Vulcans. But it's no good. Glenn just short on the rebound. Can you believe that?
Beautiful steal right there, and she tried to take it the other way. Couldn't get the bounce to fall her way, but that's the kind of defense the Vulcans love to play.
We saw a similar short layup miss with Fratz against IUP, but see if the Vulcans can bounce back here and stop the Mountain Cats. Here's McCabe, fires it over to a wide open Carmen for 3. That one's good, and UPJ with their first lead at 3-2.
Now Nicole Carmen missed her first shot on that first offensive possession for UPJ, but that time wide open 3 look, she sinks it.
13.5 points per game for the senior. She's one of the few seniors on this Lady Cats squad. Irina Kuko from the point. Hands it off to Doran. Doran takes a long jumper and buries it. We'll see what they call it. They will call it a long 2. It's 4-3 California.
Yeah, that time her foot did seem to be just inside the 3-point line, but nonetheless for the Vulcans, you got to take those open looks when you can get them. Took one right there and took back the lead by 1.
Hansen looking around, guarded by Mahadi. Drives to the basket, puts up a shot. In and out of the rim, rebounded by Mahadi. Mahadi gets out of the trap and takes it across the court. Hands it off to Glenn. Glenn puts on some moves, puts up a jumper. No good, rebounded by Slater.
We'll see if that trap continues for UPJ. We saw the Vulcans struggle with it a little bit earlier on.
Rizzo finds it. McCabe puts the shot around and puts it in and gives UPJ the lead right back. And now stolen away by Rizzo. She puts it in. Quick action, and UPJ out to a great start.
That's that trap defense right there. The Vulcans turning it right over, and we saw it last week against IUP. I mean, it's that trap play, and the Vulcans turned the ball over a couple of times because of it. Hopefully they can correct that and not turn it over as much, at least.
Vulcans fell behind early against Clarion, but Doran draws a foul here. It'll be called on Olivia McCabe.
And right now, I'm sure the Vulcans are trying to figure out. That rarely happens to them. We just showed it in the tail of the tape. They don't turn the ball over very often. So right now in this game, UPJ coming out with a lot of energy. We'll see if the Vulcans can't counter that as we move along.
I mean, they're desperate. They've been losing straight. They finally get back on their home court. Why not? They need a performance like this so far. Here's Mahadi. Mahadi pulls back. Jumper. Good. Emma Mahadi cuts it to 1.
If the Vulcans are going to keep up with this pace, they got to have their top scorers going like they did in these last couple of games. So we'll see if Caitlin Frotz starts to get on the score sheet later on.
UPJ here as Hansen drives and gets called for a travel and a turnover for the Lady Cats.
And that's the kind of thing the Vulcans are going to need to take advantage of. When UPJ does make mistakes early on, get those points into the basket and bury them early if you can. Get it out to that big lead.
Glenn will take it back for the Vulcans here. 16:33, just starting off here in Richland Township. Mahadi goes around Hansen, goes to the basket, puts up a shot, and Emma Mahadi, 4 straight points, and the Vulcans retake the lead. Seen Mahadi in these last 2 games get off to a very slow shooting start, but when she makes one, she goes off on a long streak. Watch out. Rizzo hands it off to Slater. Slater just a .1 behind her teammate Jasmine Harper for the team leading point. She goes to the basket, too strong, rebounded by McCabe. She gets ripped out by Mahadi, but she'll draw the foul on Mahadi.
And McCabe right now to start off this game for UPJ, looking like a pretty big force underneath the basket. The Vulcans have had to double team her a couple of times just to make sure she doesn't get the easy layups. But right there, unfortunately, the Vulcans got called for a foul, and she'll get the chance at the free throw stripe.
She's that 6-foot frame. Any team have some trouble with her as she rims that free throw in to tie it here at 8. McCabe is from Portage, which is just down the road from here in Cambria County. And she's shooting 65% coming in this game from the free throw stripe. And makes them both, and UPJ retakes the lead. A lot of back and forth action.
It has been very back and forth. I knew UPJ was going to come out here with a little bit of desperation trying to hang on to that last playoff spot, but it's amazed me how well they've come out starting this game.
UPJ also started quick in December, and then the Vulcans took off. We're going to see Jasmine Harper for the first time after McCabe shot those 2 free throws. And Frotz, the former UPJ, buries it. She picked up right where she left off on Sunday.
I'm amazed right there. Another long three. She seems to be dialed in with that kind of stuff, so just amazing stuff lately for Frotz.
And now Rizzo hands it Harper. Easy money for the 6-foot junior. She got hurt in that December matchup against the Vulcans, the first play of the second half, as we see Kuko go right around Carmen, put up a shot, no good, it's rebounded by Harper. But with UPJ struggling, Coach Drejos changed the starting lineup around, and Doran steals that away from Harper. Here comes California. Doran will slow back here and hand it back to Mahadi. Mahadi pulls for a 3, just in and out of the rim, rebounded by Carmen.
The pace of this game has impressed me so far. It's just been back and forth the whole way. Both these teams really coming out with a lot of energy to start in the first 5 minutes.
Next stoppage will be the first media timeout. We saw a lot of up and back and forth action between Clarion on Sunday. The media timeouts were well off the mark right here as we're at 14:54 left. So we see Rizzo trying to find Carmen, slapped up by Kuko. Go out of bounds here, and this will be our first media timeout.
And we finally get to see the pace of play just slow, just enough right now, as it has been amazing so far, Matt, just to see the speed of this game. And the Vulcans have done a good job playing the defense in that quick transition, stopping them quite a bit.
And Damon, here are the team leaders for the team. You see it's dominated by Emma Mahadi and Mickey Glenn. But I'll tell you what, Damon, that scoring total between Mahadi and Glenn is just neck and neck.
It is, and Mickey Glenn and Mahadi obviously leading the team in those different offensive categories, but you can't count out a couple of other key contributors, Irina Kuko, Caitlin Frotz. They've also been having real big games, so it's not just 1 or 2 players for the Vulcans. They've gotten a lot of contributions from all their different players. As
for the Lady Cats, you see Jasmine Harper still leading the team, but Kelsey Slater's really come on strong lately. Something about the number 11s for these two teams.
That's right. Caitlin Frotz for the Vulcans and then Kelsey Slater for UPJ. Both these players have been very good on offense lately. As you can see, Slater leading in assists and steals, but the number 1 offensive player for UPJ is unquestionably Jasmine Harper.
Yeah, and she's a junior too, which, I mean, it's got to put some fear in the not just the Vulcans, but all the teams in the PSAC. Which she mentioned before, that last offensive possession, you can see her right knee is complete. Looks like it's a bionic knee, but she's been dealing with knee problems all season. And on the first play of the second half between the Vulcans in December, she went up for a layup. She made it, but crumpled on the knee. We didn't see her for the rest of the game. Big difference why the Vulcans pulled away in that game. Now inbound and in for UPJ. It's Harper once again. UPJ with the lead at 13-11. Mahadi pulls back for a jumper. Bounces around, no good. Rebounded by Harper. Rebound came there. You see Sierra Barrett with her first action. Again, another PSAC West Freshman of the Week honors. Here's Slater going to the basket. Gets it to roll in and out. Rebounded by Frotz.
Well, right now the pace of play is frantic. I can't even get it. Matt's got to be the one calling this whole game so far.
Mickey Glenn, jumper no good. Just in and out, rebounded, finds its way to Carmen.
and Carmen finally slowed it down there. So
now Carmen does a spin move, puts up a shot, no good, rebounded by Mahadi. And Mickey Glenn takes it back here, but Sierra Barrett was actually appeared on the Coach Strom show this week that we do every week here on CUTV. A very impressive young girl. Just has her head on straight. Here's a long three by Mahadi, no good, rebounded by Kayla DeCrisio. This is the first action for her today.
not only that, but Sierra Barrett has played phenomenal basketball of late, of course, for the Vulcans.
Carmen with a long three, no good, rebounded by Glenn. That was even a good look. Now Glenn in transition for Frotz. Frotz pulls back for a jumper. No good, rebounded by Mahadi. Mahadi puts up a shot too strong, slapped away by Barrett. Right to Doran and back to Barrett. Lucky break there for the Vulcans as Glenn will reset with a new shot clock. And Damon, it's so funny you think about this as Barrett puts up a shot, no good, rebounded by Slater. These two teams are playing at such a pace that a former head basketball coach, one of the best of all time, Jerry Tarkanian, used to run, and he passed away today. So our thoughts and prayers are with the Tarkanian family as Kelsey Slater drains a three, and UPJ with their largest lead at 5.
And that is very interesting to see this kind of style of play in that situation. So it's just an ode to him in a way, seeing this kind of basketball. And on another note there too, Kelsey Slater getting on the board for UPJ.
So if UPJ can start making her threes, look out. Mahadi pushes over Harper and draws a foul. Good play there by Mahadi.
And right now the Vulcans are just trying to figure out something. This pace of play seems to be favoring UPJ, and right now the Vulcans have missed quite a few shots, as we'll see substitutions as Kuko's going to come back in this time for Mahadi.
Kuko will check in for Mahadi. We will see Rizzo check in for Leah Hansen. Glenn will rebound, give it to Kuko. Kuko will take it back to Frotz to reset the offense. Frotz over Kuko. Remember the last time these two teams played? Storn fed in, great pass by Kuko, good read, and it's 16-13.
And that's a good take, taking advantage of what you got right there. Lana Dorn, like always, cutting underneath the basket.
DeCrisio from downtown, in and out, tough break, but Slater grabs the rebound and draws the foul.
Another thing to watch as we go along in this game, Matt, especially if this pace of play continues, how many fouls are going to be drawn by both of these teams, because later on you're going to not want to foul out too many of your players, and you're bound to have a few foul calls, especially with the pace of play the way it is.
And Slater hits her first free throw. She's shooting 75.3% from the line. She is the other senior on the team we mentioned before, a local California area product from Uniontown High School. And she hits both of them here to reclaim the lead at 5. But UPJ defeated California last time these two teams faced in January 2014. It was a very early in the season game. So it's definitely a tough place to play here with the court and just how it's built. Here's Kuko. Kuko goes to the basket and gets her third and fourth points of the game. It's 18-15. Quick pace. UPJ's already down here. Here's DeCrisio. No good. Rebounded by Frotz. Frotz storms around Rizzo. Looks for Glenn. Glenn will hand it back to her. Frotz for three in the tie. No good. Rebounded by Carmen.
And right now, the way the Vulcans have played in these last few games, despite the court being a little bit different, you hope to see them play just the way they have been all game and get the same results, or all season I should say, and get the same results.
Harper takes a pass inside, throws two defenders off, puts in the basket, and Harper out to a great start, 6 points off the bench.
Even with that knee brace, she's coming out strong for UPJ on the offensive side, leading all scorers right now with those 6 points. We'll see if she continues to stay at that pace.
And Damon, this UPJ team playing inspired so far. You would think the way they're playing, they lost 7 in a row. Kuko with a shot, no good, rebounded by Carmen. Now Carmen loses the ball right to Kuko. And now everybody who's already down at the court ready for Carmen has to come back to reset for the Vulcans offense.
Kuko came out of nowhere right there, just batted the ball out of her hand from behind, and this ball is going to go out of bounds.
The Vulcans with another turnover. We will have our second media timeout right now. 10:59 remaining in the first half. We'll take our first commercial break here. Quick paced action. The upset-minded UPJ Lady Cats off to a 20-15 lead here on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to the sports complex here on the campus of UPJ. And the UPJ Lady Cats defending their home court successfully so far, 20-15. And Damon with that speed, we just can't say enough about the speed. They've put the Vulcans off guard here, but maybe that second media timeout was what California needed.
I'm sure Coach Strom was going to talk to her team and try to slow it down a little bit. That's the style the Vulcans like to play and are able to succeed in. So we'll see if they do that now after that timeout.
Rizzo gets it to Harper on the baseline. She puts it in. She's been making it look easy. She's got 8.
And another thing to watch, too, the Vulcans' defense has only given up around in the high 40s, low 50s against the teams they've played lately. Right now, UPJ got 22 already. We'll see if they can't stop them a little bit on offense.
And the 5th-ranked team in the country at the time last week, IUP only had 17 at halftime. Just shows an amazing play here so far. Here's Kuko giving it to Glenn. Glenn works around Rizzo, puts up a shot, draws a foul. Doesn't get it to fall, but she'll go to the line for 2.
And Mickey Glenn is a good one to have go to the free throw stripe. Of course, she has done phenomenal there on the season, 83%. And we always allude to it. She normally only misses 1 per game. So look for her when she gets the chance for free throws. She can sink every one of them if she can.
The foul was on Olivia Rizzo, and Mickey Glenn goes to the free throw stripe and makes the first one to cut it to 22-16 here. The sophomore from Bridgeport, West Virginia. Just can't say enough what she does every single game. As Jasmine Harper will check out again for Olivia McCabe, and I think the Vulcans like having her on the bench.
Oh, absolutely, especially the way she's played so far in tonight's game. As Mickey Glenn, there she is, sinking both of her shots, getting the Vulcans back to within 5.
22-17 is your scores. We're just about around the 10-minute mark. As Hansen hands it off to Carmen. Carmen splits the defenders. Fires it over to DeCrisio. She works around Glenn, hands it over to Rizzo. Almost too strong. She corrals it. Now Frotz is all over. Bad pass to DeCrisio. She still gets it. So good job of concentration there for the Lady Cats. Rizzo working around, and she'll get called for a travel. So after that errant pass kind of thwarted that whole UPJ offensive possession.
Yeah, it seemed like they were trying to get the passes around quickly. Unfortunately, they bobbled a few of them. They almost ran out of shot clock time and had to hurry up, and they got called for the travel on that.
Glenn works out of the trap set by Rizzo. Almost loses herself, hands it off to Kuko. Kuko using the pick by Barrett. Flips it back to Glenn. Glenn works around, hands it off to Barrett. Barrett with a jumper. Good, Sierra Barrett with her first 2 points. It's a 3-point game.
And I'm sure that timeout was what Coach Strom used. The Vulcans offense very much slowed down on that last possession.
Hansen thought about long 3. She'll take it to the baseline, spin around, hand it off to Crisio. No good, rebounded by Barrett. And now here comes the Vulcans with Frotz. Frotz, she's got Dorn with her. She keeps it herself to the basket and 1. The playmaker does it again.
It looked like she was dialed in to take that shot no matter what right there. She had the option for Doran underneath the basket, but she was going to go get it that time, put the layup in, and also getting the foul.
We're going to see Slater check in for DeCrisio for the Lady Cats. Frotz will go to the line here to try to tie this game at 22. 6-0 run out of the timeout gate for the Vulcans.
And just like you said there too, Matt, I feel like Coach Strom definitely sat the team down on that last timeout and got them to play their style of offense, and that's brought them right back into a tie with UPJ.
7-0 run now. Frotz with 3-point play. She's got 5 so far. She had 20 against Clarion in the first half. Now UPJ with a counter. McCabe to Slater, wide open, puts it up too strong, rebounded by Barrett to Frotz. Now the Vulcans turning up the speed. Glenn on the baseline. Puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Kuko. Kuko puts up the shot. That one's no good. Kuko gets her own rebound. Doran hands it off to Frotz. She will reset the offense here. Frotz putting on the moves. Goes to the basket, swatted away by McCabe, but she'll get called for the foul.
That is the kind of offense you like to see the Vulcans playing right there. They got the opportunities off the bat, didn't make them, but they got the rebounds from Kuko and a couple of others. And right there, Frotz using her speed to go right to the basket and gets another chance for free throws as another foul was called against UPJ.
Frotz 76.5% on the season. She sinks the first one there, give the Vulcans their lead back. We're going to see Harper check in for McCabe. But, you know, Damon, I'm in the same major with Caitlin Frotz. We're both public relations majors. I have a class with her on Monday night, just talking to her. I've never seen a girl more focused and just determined to win. And right here, she's focused again, 2 free throws, 24-22 Vulcans. Frotz has 7.
She's definitely determined, leading all scorers now in this game with 9 points, just on fire on offense.
Now, shot no good by Leah Hansen, rebounded by Kuko. And something great about Frotz, too, is Glenn fires it over to Doran, gives it back to Glenn. I might have to wait to tell that story with the way this game's going. But Frotz had 23 against IUP, 21 against UPJ, fires an air ball there. That one's out of bounds. Doran slaps it back. It went right to Slater. She tried to save it. Good effort. Now Frotz goes for the steal. She flips it back to Doran. Unbelievable. Crazy basketball, crazy saves. Here's Doran. Doran hands it off to Kuko. Work on by Carmen, puts the spin on, puts the shot up and in, 26-22 Vulcans. That's their largest lead.
After all that just happened on the last possession, Matt, I could have swore that ball was going out of bounds at least twice, but saved twice by the Vulcans. They were able to retain possession and get the 2. Unbelievable stuff.
I mean, with the luck they've been having, why not? Here's Hansen, over to Rizzo. Frotz almost stole that one. Rizzo fires it over to Hansen. Hansen drives to the basket, swatted away by Barrett, by Carmen right there to save it. There's right place, right time for UPJ. Hansen with a shot, no good, rebounded by Kuko. Now the Vulcans on an 11-0 run. Glenn puts on the moves, gives it over to Barrett. Barrett with his shot, easy, 4 points for the freshman, 28-22 California.
Can you believe this run the Vulcans are going on right now? Right out of the timeout, 13-0 run, taking command of this game, and we're going to get a timeout call.
Timeout, Mike Drehos, and they needed it. An unbelievable 13-0 run by the Vulcans after the second media timeout. And just that's the adjustments. That's why Coach Strom is one of the best in the PSAC. He can just make adjustments like that. And she doesn't need to yell. She doesn't need to storm up and down the court like some of the other PSAC coaches. She just gets it done because she has confidence in her players that they can get the job done. 13-0 run. They listen too.
No, the players, yeah, you're right. The players definitely know what needs to be done after that start to this game went the way of UPJ. The Vulcans came out after that timeout. We can speculate all we want about what was said at the bench, but you know what? It doesn't matter. They came out, they knew what they had to do, and they executed it perfectly as the Vulcans commanding this game now at this point as we go near here at the end of the first half.
And you know, sometimes with this team, Damon, they take a while to get going, but they just hang in there. And again, this is a road game. It doesn't matter who the teams are. You're on the road in the PSAC. Any win or anything close to that is an accomplishment, no matter the record. Even winning at Clarion, that's a big win, even though they're in last place. But some of the other games going on right now, that are going on tonight, I should say, IUP's playing Mercyhurst. I mean, IUP's just trying to keep pace with California. Normally, we'd be saying it the other way around. Edinburgh is playing Slippery Rock up at the Macomb Fieldhouse. Edinburgh lost to Slippery Rock, so I guarantee you Stan Slank's going to have his girls ready for that game. And then Gannon takes a trip down to Tipham Gymnasium, trying to rebound them from losing to IUP. And Seton Hill with the off Wednesday, and the Vulcans will be off Saturday.
Yeah, so a lot of good action going on elsewhere in the PSAC. You're right. Anybody can upset anybody in the PSAC, especially in the West. So definitely got to keep an eye on those other games. And here tonight, too, it's been a back-and-forth battle so far.
And one of those losses last year like this to UPJ for the Vulcans killed their region chances as Hansen spins around, hands it off to Rizzo, up to Harper. Harper puts it up, no good. Rebounded, puts it in, and ends the Vulcans' 13-0 run. Now will UPJ be on the run here? But now, Glenn, perfect pass to Barrett. She gets it in, and Damon, I feel like we see one of those passes every single game.
Just a long pass right there once again, and Barrett was open underneath the basket as the Vulcans answer back very quickly.
To compare it to football, Glenn was Roethlisberger, Barrett was Antonio Brown. The ball goes out of bounds there. It'll be UPJ ball, but good defense by the Vulcans.
And it was good for UPJ right there. Jasmine Harper finally ending that run for the Vulcans, but again, that's where you try to keep the momentum. The Vulcans instantly with that long pass able to get the basket and basically keep their lead.
Hanson will hand it off to Rizzo. No pressure out of the inbounds pass. The Vulcans' inbounds defense has been incredible. That pass is stolen by Kuko. Kuko will take it back for the Vulcans here. See what she does. Drives to the basket and puts the shot in. Irina Kuko, the senior, has 8.
And Kuko was just a little bit quiet in the last game for the Vulcans, but right here coming out, looking to get into double digits in points in the first half.
17 against IUP as a long three by Slater goes to the mark. And now CeCe Dixon with the rebound will draw an over the back call against Jasmine Harper, her second, and that's the one player UPJ doesn't want to get in foul trouble.
That's right, and I don't think we didn't even realize, I don't think that CeCe Dixon was in this game. We were paying so much attention to the pace of play that these subs are sneaking in on us here, Matt.
And CeCe Dixon, I mean, credit to her. She might not be the best scorer, but her defense does not go unnoticed to how she plays so far. She's so key for the Vulcans underneath the baskets, getting block shots and also rebounds. She loses the ball there, but corrals it before we're getting called for over and back. So over to Mahadi. Mahadi works around, gives it to Glenn. Glenn from the corner. Good, Mickey Glenn. And I like to call that Snipe Show, 35-24.
That's right, you can't leave Mickey Glenn open for too long. She'll find that open look and sink it almost every time, so good job right there.
Double digits now for the Vulcans as Carmen falls down, slips, poked out by Glenn, but it'll fall right back to Rizzo. Second chance for UPJ. Now Hanson, 3, they need it. In and out, no good, rebounded by Barrett. Now the Vulcans take it back here. Glenn to Kuko. Kuko from right corner. That one's good. The Vulcans with 2 back-to-back threes. It's a 14-point lead.
And Kuko already with 11 points in this game. She had 17 against Clarion last time, so she's already trying to match her scoring.
Damon, this is a 23-2 run going on right now. Now, UPJ, this is number 45. Agnesy Aramina with her first action. She gets something no good. And Hanson will find it to Hanson. Hanson will get caught, will draw a foul.
Well, a 23-2 run, if that's what you're saying, Matt. That is incredible by the Vulcans. They just pretty much have played their style of ball right now, just playing a really good job on defense and sinking those shots on the other side of the ball as well.
A once 22-15 lead for UPJ at the second immediate timeout has turned into a 14-point deficit. And right now, Leah Hanson missed the free throw. That's very rare for her because she's shooting 87.5% from the line.
Yeah, very good from the free throw stripe this year is Hanson. So, yeah, rare to see her miss. It's almost like Mickey Glenn for the Vulcans. She rarely misses them, so we'll see what she does in the second shot here.
Hanson from General McLean High School. She's from Waterford, near outside of Erie, and she makes the second one to split the free throws and make it a 13-point lead for the Vulcans. Dixon draws the foul into Crisio.
And now these fouls are starting to pick up, actually. It looks like already UPJ has 17 fouls already. So, that, like I said earlier, that's going to be something you're going to want to watch, especially in the second half, how these fouls are going to come into play.
That was DeCrisio's second. I'll put the Vulcans in the bonus here. Dixon, only 50% from the free throw stripe, but she barely goes. I can't remember the last time she misses that one there. Mahadi with a smart play, grabs the rebound, and calls a timeout. Very, very veteran play.
Oh, absolutely right there, especially off the missed free throw. Calling the timeout and keeping possession. That is a good thing to do right there by Emma Mahadi.
And Damon, while we have a break here, we're going to take a look at those PSAC West standings. It's getting down to crunch time. 4 conference games left, and you can see California and IUP, the 2 rivals, right at the top.
That's right, and at this point right now, the Vulcans pretty much carry their own destiny. They got to get through these last few games. They can continue on the streak they've been on with their winning. They'll be able to hold on to that #1 spot in the PSAC West. And we talked about Pitt-Johnstown. They're right there at the bubble. They're the number 16. They're trying to hold on to that playoff spot. Slippery Rock, of course, is right behind them, though. So their season, they know they control their own destiny as well. They just got to win and they're in. So we'll see what they can do.
And Slippery Rock won here a couple weeks ago. And I mean, from you know the top 4 teams are going to be Cal, IUP, Edinburgh, Gannon. That's a given. But 5 through 8 is separated by 2 games. anything's possible in these last 2 weeks. It'll be very exciting as we see Kuko, hand inside to Barrett. Barrett works around. No good, rebounded by Carmen. Carmen will take it back here. Trying to get around, almost loses the ball there, hands it to Rizzo. Rizzo gets stolen away by Barrett. Another steal for the Vulcans, here comes Barrett. Barrett, the impressive freshman, puts up a shot off the rim, gets the rebound, hands it off to Kuko. And back out to Glenn. I mean, Damon, even though he didn't go, what a move. You can't say enough.
No, you can't. Sierra Barrett, even, like you said, when she's not on the score sheet, she's playing well all around everywhere else, and that just shows it right there with those moves, getting to the basket.
Foul away from the ball here as we see this call. I believe it's going to be on Hansen.
And that's going to be the 8th foul on UPJ already here in this first half, so just shocking stuff.
And it's our 4th media timeout. We'll take our final break of the first half. Stay tuned for the rest of this exciting first half here on CUTV, 38-25, California.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Welcome back to the sports complex here on the campus of Pitt-Johnstown here in Richland Township, where the Vulcans 38-25 lead. And Irina Kuko will go to the line for the first time today. She is shooting 53.3% from the free throw stripe, but she's been getting a lot better at the free throws and makes that first one there.
Well, she has, and she's been just a good scoring threat for the Vulcans. As, again, she had 17 in her last game, but now already up to 12 in the first half. Actually, make that 13 as she sinks the second one.
She leads all scorers so far. She's off to a great start, and again, that's just the key as to why the Vulcans have been off to such a hot streak. Climbing to the top of the PSAC has been her play. Now Rizzo trying to work around Mahadi. Hands it off, trying to find Aramina, goes out of bounds, and another turnover for the Lady Cats.
And the contributions right now on offense for the Vulcans are coming from so many sources. I mean, Sierra Barrett off the bench has 6 herself. Caitlin Fratz with 9. Of course, you talked about Kuko. She has 13. So it's not just one player. These Vulcans are just getting everybody involved on the offensive side of the ball.
And we're not even seeing a lot of Caitlin Fratz right now. Glenn inside the Barrett. Perfect pass, perfect basket. Sierra Barrett continues her climb. She's got 8. Rizzo rifles one down to Slater. Slater backs out of the triple team. Now guarded by Mahadi. Spins away from Mahadi. Now Dixon gets in there. Now Aramina for 3. No good. Kuko almost got the rebound, but right to Chrissy. Now Slater for 3. That one's no good. Aramina gets the rebound, finally puts it in there. That's UPJ's first field goal in a long while.
And they finally got a bounce to fall. They couldn't get anything on those first 2 shots, but the third one is a charm. So
Mahadi trying to find Dixon, stolen away by Aramina, but that one gets tipped right to Carmen, but the Vulcans are already settling down in the defense. Now Kuko trying to get the steal. She gets called for a reach there, and that will be her first.
It may have been tougher to see on camera, but right where we are sitting, it was pretty easy to see. Kuko did try to go for the ball right there, and she did get a lot of the hands right there of Nicole Carmen, so nothing you can do on that one. Inbounds play for UPJ.
Hansen will get the inbounds here. 2:45 left here in the first half. 15-point deficit for the Lady Cats. DeCrisio hands it off to Slater. Inside to Harper. Harper checked in for Carmen. Harper checked in for Aramina. That one's no good. Bounces out. Barrett gets the rebound and stops. Glenn takes it back court here. We'll set the offense here at this Vulcans team. It's all different people, and we're going to see Shatara Parsons check in, and after her injury, Brittany Nelson, as we're going to see a kick ball here. Brittany Nelson will check in for Sierra Barrett, and with that blowout win against Clarion, Damon, we saw a lot of Brittany Nelson in that last game.
Yeah, Brittany Nelson did get a lot of playing time with how much the Vulcans were out in front in that game. So we'll see if this lead holds, if she gets a lot of playing time again tonight.
Kukoc looking for somebody who gets the two, hands it off to Nelson and back to Glenn. 5 seconds shot clock. They got to get something off. Glenn drives over Harper, puts up a shot, no good. That didn't hit the rim. Nelson puts it up, no good. But shot clock violation anyway, so I think the ref missed that there, but definitely the Vulcans did not get a shot off before the shot clock expired.
No, that shot that was taken went right over the basket, didn't touch the rim at all. The buzzer didn't go off here in the Sports Center, but there's nothing you could do right there as ref blew the whistle. That's all he could do.
Here is Carmen. Carmen double teamed. Backs up, throws it right to Emma Mahadi. She was right there for the taking. Mahadi right to Glenn. Glenn for three. No good. Big scrum for the rebound. Harper gets it.
I don't think Carmen really knew where she was passing that ball in that one. She threw it right to Mahadi behind the back.
Harper storms to the basket. She draws a foul on Nelson. But with with Vulcan's fifth team foul, you still have a couple fouls to give before you have to force UPJ to line. So you can take fouls like that and prevent Harper from going to the basket.
Yeah, still not bad defense for the Vulcans right there. They haven't taken very many fouls.
Oh, inbounds. Harper was waiting for it. Now it's easy. 13-point lead now for the Vulcans. Mahadi gets it back to Kukoc here. Kukoc will take back here, trying to find Glenn, but good defense there by Hansen. Hansen trying to get it. Glenn works right around her, pulls up for a jumper. No good. Rebounded by Nelson. Nelson will draw us the foul on DeCrisio. That's her third.
And Nelson is just taking over down low for the Vulcans like Sierra Barrett was doing. She's getting all those rebounds and drawing the fouls, and she's going to get more and more opportunities at the free throw stripe. So good chance to sink a couple of points right here.
Brittany Nelson, the junior transfer from Lackawanna College. She's from Central Dauphin East High School in Harrisburg. Nelson, no good, but again, another player doesn't go to the free throw stripe a lot.
Yeah, but the more opportunities she gets, the more chance she probably will have to sink a lot more and probably boost that free throw percentage up. So
she's quite a unique shot there, and she makes the second one there for her first point of the game, 43-29 California. We are about to cross under 1 minute here at the sports complex in the first half. Slater, guarded by Dixon. Good defense. Now DeCrisio. DeCrisio, trying to be forced there by CeCe Dixon. She'll get called for the foul. She tried to force DeCrisio right into the Vulcans bench there and force a turnover. But it'll be a foul on the sophomore.
Just aggressive defense like we're used to seeing from the Vulcans so far this season. And it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a stoppage here.
They tried checking out Slater for Rizzo, and that's what the stoppage was. But now Olivia Rizzo will try to inbounds it here. Looking for someone, and gets it out to Hansen here. Hansen, top of the key, will look around. Now double teamed by Dixon, trying to get around Dixon. Zip back right to Kukoc. Hansen flips out to Carmen. Carmen's right there, no good. Rebounded by Kukoc. Right place, right time again there. Kukoc slapped it right into the arms of Glenn there. But now the shot clock is at about a 6-second differential, so the Vulcans cannot hold for the last shot. So they try to get something. Mahadi, long two. That one's good. Emma Mahadi with her first 2 points in a little bit. It's 45-29.
That's what you'd like to see. Get a couple points on the board just before half. UPJ with the last possession. See what they can do.
10 seconds. Now, a big scrum for it. Harper's got it. Stolen away by Nelson. 2 seconds. They're going to need to throw it down the court. Dixon will throw it right to quarterback. Short, but we'll go to halftime here at the Vulcans, up by 16.
And we just saw two separate games in the two separate halves of this first half, but the Vulcans coming out on the strong side here to end the half, up by 45-29.
Strong side, left side. And once a 22-15 deficit is now a 45-29 lead as we go to the locker rooms here. Stay tuned for the second half here on CUTV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And welcome back to the UPJ Sports Complex here on the campus of Pitt-Johnstown University. And my name is Matt Hagee. Alongside me is Damon Matson. The California Vulcans with a 45-29 lead is about to start the second half. And Damon will look really quick. The halftime stats, what's the one stat that stands out to you the most?
I think the one stat that stands out to me the most, especially on UPJ's side, is the turnovers. That just plays into the Vulcans' hand. They've been still forcing the turnovers, and it's resulted in a lot of points. 17 of 38 for the field goals, and also from the free throw stripe. 8 of 10 are the Vulcans, so they're getting the turnovers once again, and they're taking advantage of it, which is why they have such a big lead.
And for the Vulcans, Irina Kuko leads all scorers, not just on the Vulcans, but on the floor with 13 points. For the UPJ Lady Cats, it's been Jasmine Harper with 12 points off the bench. But right now, I mean, it's the UPJ 2 for 10 from the three-point stripe. That is a big reason why they fell behind. Their bread and butter isn't there.
No, it's not. That's the one way that UPJ stays in games, especially when they're able to draw fouls. And so far tonight, one, they haven't been really making the free throws, and two, they also haven't had that many fouls called because the Vulcans haven't taken that many.
And we are underway here. UPJ will start with the ball after the Vulcans won the tip-off. And now, here's Slater. Slater gives it off to Rizzo. Over to Slater. Slater tries to find Carmen. Big scrum for the basketball. Looks like it went out Mahadi, and it'll be UPJ ball.
A good defense down low right there again for the Vulcans. They were able to pretty much make sure that they defended the pass underneath the basket and wasn't going to let the easy layup go in.
Now Hansen will inbound. Right to Mahadi. She was waiting for it. And another turnover and a steal. Mahadi gives it to Doran. Almost all over Hansen. Doran with a jumper. That one's good. Lana Doran with her first 2 points of this game. And now, whoa, base to McCabe, and she puts it back. Nobody was spying the 6-foot freshman.
No, McCabe's been even with her size, been able to sneak under the basket and get quite a few points tonight. She's done a good job at that.
Kuko hands it to Doran. Doran now goes to the basket. Lana Doran with the first 4 points for the Vulcans this half.
Who would have expected that out of all the people to start off a second half for the Vulcans? She comes out on fire and just keeping back and forth play.
Hansen, Rizzo, no good. Rebounded by Glenn over the 6-foot freshman. Here comes Doran once more. Doran to Mahadi. Mahadi throws up a prayer and no good. Rebounded by Slater. I think if that would have went in, I would have fell out of my chair. Slater right to McCabe. No one's covered, but Glenn comes in. Almost got the block, but she'll get called for the foul.
Well, you and me both at that last layup attempt by the Vulcans would have fell right there, but a good try over there on the defensive side of the ball for Mickey Glenn. She tries to just swat that ball out, get the block, but she did get a little bit of the hand right there, and that'll send McCabe to the line.
And McCabe with 6 points today. She's only averaging 4.3, so she's already doubled that. She'll go to the line here. She was 2 for 2 last time. And 3 for 3.
And that's one thing UPJ is going to have to hope happens in the second half, that they get those bounces like on that last free throw to fall. They actually had a lot of shots go off the rim and out last half, so they're going to have to hope that some of those bounces fall their way to get back into this game.
McCabe makes both of them. McCabe's got 4 to start this half. Lana Doran has 4 to start this half. Probably the most unexpected players are going into a shooting duel right now to start the second half. Mickey Glenn hands it off to Kuko. Kuko throws it to Mahadi. Ooh, nice catch there. Mahadi pulls back, jumper, good. Emma Mahadi, she's got 8.
Yeah, she made that great save on the pass right there, calmed it down, and just easily just throws that shot up and in.
Vulcans 6 for 6, 3 for 3 so far with field goals to start this half. Here's Slater, works around Glenn, tries to work around Doran, no good. Slater gets a rebound, stolen away by Doran. Now Doran's double team, gets out of the trap and hands off to Glenn. Very impressive. Now Glenn fires it over to a wide open Frotz. Frotz for 3. In and out of the rim, rebounded by McCabe. Now gives it to Slater. He almost lost it there, miscommunication.
And Doran playing a good coast-to-coast game. We're seeing it right now, getting 4 points already in this half, and right there, playing what she's known for, her great defense, getting the ball, stealing it, and getting it back into the Vulcans' hands.
Rizzo tries to go inside, but a foul away from the basket. But now with the Vulcans with the first 2 fouls to start this half, it's been kind of a reverse. The Vulcans stayed out of foul trouble for the most part, but two fouls. And that was Kuko in her second.
That seems to be the way the Vulcans, they do take a few more fouls at least in the second half than they normally do in the first half, so they're going to have to control it a little bit as we roll on through the game here for sure.
Rizzo almost called there for a 5-second roll, but she gets it to Carmen. Carmen's double teamed. Kuko forces the turnover to Frotz. Now Frotz hands it back to Kuko. Kuko right to Doran. Doran can't handle it. She gets it back. Now back to Kuko. Kuko puts up a shot too strong. Rebounded by UPJ. I'm just amazed they kept that play going. Hanson goes to the basket. Too strong. Rebounded by McCabe. McCabe puts up a shot, 6 points. She's the only UPJ player that scored so far.
And she played physical under the basket right there, shaking off the Vulcans defenders.
Normally there's that one girl, as Glenn goes to the basket and get called for a travel there. That's a tough break because a really good play there by Glenn.
And it has been, it looks like the Vulcans, once again, kind of playing into the speed game right now of UPJ. They have a decent enough lead. They've been answering back, but that's one thing the Vulcans need to do. They need to just stick to what they did at the end of the first half, play their style of offense, and not play to the speed game of UPJ, because that's where they can take advantage of the Vulcans.
And there's something I noticed about the Vulcans the last 2 games. Vulcans had to deal with a 6'1 center, and Jen Straw, as the pass trying to get to McCabe, gets it right to Doran. Here comes Doran. Doran hands it off to Glenn. Glenn, too strong. Kuko gets the rebound. Over McCabe, gets slapped. I was surprised that wasn't a foul. Here comes to Crisio. Crisio hands it to McCabe. McCabe's wide open. No good. Harper gets it, flips it in, no good. Now Mahadi gets it slapped out, and it's going to be UPJ ball.
It has definitely started to get a little more physical here as we start the second half, as UPJ coming out with a purpose. And we've seen a couple of calls, or a couple of plays, I should say, where there were no calls. There could have been a couple of fouls, but the ref's letting them play for the most part.
And hey, why not? As long as it's fair both ways, we're going to see Hanson inbound. See what she'll do. Foul away from the basket. It's going to be on Doran. Did you see what happened there? I didn't.
No, I didn't see anything. I was more or less paying attention to the inbounds play, and Doran on the other side of the court, basically. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but nonetheless.
Hanson can't find anyone. Finally gets Harper. Harper spins around, puts up a shot, no good. Rebounded by Glenn, but Rizzo is ready for it. Hands it to Harper. Harper on Frotz. The tallest player gets the smallest player on the court. She puts it in. She's got 14. Now Frotz takes it all the way back here. 3 fouls for the Vulcans to start here, none for UPJ. But with UPJ behind, they need to do anything they can to cut back into this lead. Glenn, forced pass to Mahadi. It's going to be stolen away there. That's a questionable pass. Rizzo, pickpocketed by Frotz. Frotz, she's got Mahadi with her. See what she does. She backs up, hands it to Doran. Doran, long 2. No good, and Aramina steals the rebound away from Mahadi.
We didn't call Fratz's name very often in the first half, but that time we called it with the steal.
Glenn steals it away from Aramina. And another constant theme for the Vulcans is the starting out the second half as well, especially getting back to Edinburgh, even IUP, and Clarion cut back the lead a little bit here. But now always respond. Frotz, too strong, rebounded by Aramina.
They have been a team that we got to watch at the beginning of the second half. They do come out a little bit slower, but they do seem to pick it up. So 5 minutes into this second half, we'll see what happens if the Vulcans can adjust.
And again, we've stormed past the first media timeout, the normal media timeout, 16 minutes. Crisio. She's been shut out, hands it to Rizzo, puts up a shot, no good, rebounded by Mahadi. She gets it to Doran, no one was covering her. Now Doran works inside, on Harper, draws the foul, and 1. Lana Doran's got 6 in this half.
And she's been the offensive pretty much catalyst for the Vulcans as we're going to reach our first media timeout right here. But she has been the offensive catalyst, like I said, for the Vulcans here.
And Damon, that was the 3rd foul on Jasmine Harper. So now Harper, the Lady Cats' best player, in foul trouble. And that's what they did. They did the Laurel Lindsay against Edinburgh. And we're going to see right here the stats comparison between these two teams. And UPJ, believe it or not, they lead the PSAC in scoring.
Yeah, they do. They are a very high-octane offensive style of team. But as far as that goes, Matt, though, look at the second right there, the second stat we're going to watch, the scoring defense. They are pretty much dead last almost.
They are the bottom.
They are dead last. So, I mean, that's the difference right there. You can score as many points as you want, but if you're not going to be able to defend against the other team, that's not really going to help you. You're going to be in shootouts, and more times than not, you're probably going to lose those shootouts.
And I mean, that's been what's separating us. UPJ from competing with the best has been their defense.
That's right. Yeah, that's the only thing that's keeping this team from being very competitive. I'm sure that's one thing they've wanted to focus on, especially after now that they're on this 7-game losing streak. They're trying to find some way to get a win right here, and that's probably the main thing that they've tried to focus on, is get that defense at least somewhat in line, and you could win a bunch of games if you're UPJ.
And now suddenly Lana Doran with 10 points now. 6 of those coming this half. I was reading the wrong sheet.
Yeah, she actually does have 10 points. She's the second Vulcan to reach double digits here tonight. And we got a couple of players on the fringe. Sierra Barrett, Caitlin Frotz with 8 and 9 respectively. So once again, up and down the lineup, getting a lot of contributions from every player on the Vulcans.
It's a balanced offense that's helped Cal to the top as Doran completes a 3-point play here. 7 points this half. As Harper will take it back here. She's going to have to watch herself with 3 fouls. Hands it off. We've seen Jamie Tabone, the sophomore from Penn Hills for the first time today. Harper goes to the basket strong. Impressive slam down.
One thing I've noticed too for UPJ, they're putting a lot more size on the court. I saw a big mismatch as McCabe, I believe, was on Frotz. They were defending against each other, so mismatches up and down the court.
Frotz likes to go against the tallest girls as Kuko's going to get called for a travel there. So it looks like she hesitated, and that's what the ref called.
And we're going to see a substitution now. Sierra Barrett, who had a pretty strong first half, going to come back into this game. But that's one thing the Vulcans are going to have to try to defend against. Even with Frotz wanting to go in the bigger girls, you're going to have to get those mismatches and try to at least execute well enough to defend.
Slater double teamed. Goes to the baseline. Guarded by Barrett, gets it out to Harper. Harper slams in the Frotz, and she's going to get called for an offensive foul. That's her 4th. And now the big 6-foot player who has 16 points, more than anyone on the court, is in foul trouble, and she's going right to the bench for Nicole Carmen.
And I'm sure that's one reason why Frotz likes to play against the bigger girls, is because she can draw those fouls easier, as it seems like they're getting a lot of push off against her. So it worked out in their favor right there, and the high scorer is off the court for UPJ.
I mean, where would UPJ be without Jasmine Harper in this game? This wouldn't even be a game. Kuko at the top of the key, hands it off to Barrett. Now to Doran. Doran almost lost it, gets it back. Doran tries to get inside, miscommunication stole away by DeCrisio. DeCrisio trying to split the defense. Throws up a shot and draws a blocking foul on Nikki Glenn.
And if you're UPJ right there, that was a tough break right there. DeCrisio is playing good basketball right now. That time getting the ball off the turnover, going right to the basket. She didn't get the layup to fall, but she is going to get the foul shots.
14 fouls, and that's the second one for Glenn. DeCrisio still has not scored a point yet. And, I mean, she's not the leading scorer for UPJ. She only has 7 points a game. That one comes out, so no luck for the junior from Altoona High School. But still, 44.8% from the three-point stripe, and that was a rare miss for her. She's shooting 91.7.
Yeah, at the free throw stripe especially. It looks like she probably leads this team in free throw shots, but she gets the second one to fall for her first point of the game.
14-point lead for the Vulcans here. 13:35 left here in this game. Glenn over to Frotz. Frotz slams over to Crisio, and she's going to get called for a charge there.
And Frotz can't believe it. That's a tough one for the Vulcans. Right now, it seems like UPJ definitely starting to at least get back into this game, getting the momentum on their side. Only down by 14 now. A lot of time left in this game. Anything can really happen.
Comes Slater for UPJ. Now, almost pickpocketed there by Frotz. But now double team joined by Barrett, hands it off to DeCrisio. Rifles it over to Tabone. Tabone throws up a shot, and good, Jamie Tabone. How about that? Now Vulcans, watch this pace. Doran spins around, hands it off to Frotz, will slow it down. Now suddenly a 12-point lead for California. Now Doran hands it off to Barrett. Barrett to the baseline, puts up a shot, no good.
And these missed opportunities for the Vulcans are not gonna help as we go on down the line. UPJ doing good on offense with a lot of momentum.
Carmen, that one's good. 10-point lead. But now we're getting down to that second media timeout, and that's where the game changed in the first half. Could that change again? About 28 seconds from it. Kuko works around Carmen, puts up a shot, and a much-needed shot to end the UPJ run.
And that was a slick move right there by Kuko. She had the defender all over her, but she spun around her right there, got the easy one-handed layup to fall, and that puts the Vulcans, at least gets them a couple of points.
15 points for Irina Kuko. Now here's Slater. Slater pickpocketed by Frotz. Frotz gets it by the baseline, and they'll call Slater for a foul.
And right there on that play, I saw right in front of me, you can see right there the UPJ's bench not too happy about that, but that was a great play right there by Frotz as she was able to control that ball and draw the foul.
Second media timeout. We will take a break here from the UPJ Sports Complex. UPJ's closed in a little, but this is where the game changed in the first half, was that second media timeout. Will it change for the Vulcans again? Stay tuned for the rest of the second half here on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to the UPJ Sports Complex here as we get out of the second media timeout with the Vulcans leading the Lady Cats 56-44. Frotz inside the Mahadi. Mahadi works around, steps on the baseline. She could call for a travel anyway.
Yeah, it seemed like she was going to go up for the shot right there, and she wasn't able to get it. Just good defense down low by UPJ. They've done that all so far this half, and we'll see if that doesn't change, if the Vulcans can get some points on the board.
Now, Olivia Rizzo, guarded by Doran, trying to shake Doran. Can't do it. Hands to Carmen. Carmen loses it. Kuko's got it. Kuko and Doran all alone. Kuko puts up the layup and good. Irina's got 17.
Matching her performance from the last Vulcans game with 17. She's had another impressive one right here, and she's been a very big part of this offense.
Now, Rizzo. Going to round. It's going to be a timeout for UPJ. They're trying to find something they couldn't. So that was a good timeout there for head coach Mike Drehos.
That was Rizzo just trying to find a pass to go, somebody to go to, somebody to pass the ball to, but the Vulcans had that completely covered, and they did a good job right there, just making sure that UPJ had to use another timeout.
And which we have here with this team, UPJ's closed in, California's, but I mean, Irina Kuko, when you have someone like Irina Kuko, when you have scorers like Frotz, Mahadi, Glenn, you know you're going to get contributions out of that big three right there. And especially Sierra Barrett when she's on the floor. But when you can get Irina Kuko going, you are 5 deep. That's dangerous for not any team in your conference, but in the entire NCAAs as well.
That's your starting lineup right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you don't have to worry about it at all. You have 5 solid players out there on the court every single game that can produce for you. And even when just 1 or 2 of those players is off, you're still going to have 3 players or so scoring at a phenomenal rate. And that's what the Vulcans have had this season and on this stretch of wins that they've had. And it's just led to a bunch of solid wins for the Vulcans this year.
And I mean, as sports anchor for CUTV News Center this semester, I'm the one who gets to cut the highlights to show on News Center the next day after the Wednesday games. And I just have so much fun just cutting them. It's like, wow, look at that pass. Wow, look at that shot. This is great. And it's just really fun watching these ladies. And they put on a show again today. Even UPJ has done as well.
It is unfortunate we can't show you on replay here when we show these games on TV, but you at least get to watch it live, and it is phenomenal to watch.
Hope to have replay back next week. Here's Carmen with a shot, no good. Rebounded by Aramina. She loses it. Now Tabone gets it, but now stolen away by Mahadi. Now Mahadi double teamed, and Glenn with a great play gets it past Carmen. Now Doran. Hand it back Glenn to reset the offense here. Right now the original starting 5 is on the floor for California. Glenn will hand it back to Kuko. Kuko to Mahadi. Mahadi with a 3. No good. Rebounded, slapped around, but eventually finds its way to Carmen for a second. I thought Cal could have got that back. Carmen. Jumper. No good. Over in the back, called on Aramina.
And I think one player, too, that we forgot about there was we were talking about some solid players for the Vulcans, Matt, is Lana Doran. I mean, she's had a big game as well in this one, scoring 11 points so far, and she's always a solid contributor on defense as well. So talk about the Vulcans being deep with talent. That's another player right there.
Glenn hands it off to Frotz. Frotz pump fakes. Now gets at the Doran. Doran broke free and puts it in. Lana Doran with 8 points this half. 9 points this half.
Speaking of Lana Doran, there she is coming in the back door, getting that layup under the basket. Another 2 points for the Vulcans.
She has 13. I believe that's a season high for her. Couldn't have picked a better time. Rizzo, we're going to see Jasmine Harper check in next stoppage. I'll be interested to see if the Vulcans attack her. To Bone. Over to DeCrisio. Inside the Carmen. Glenn almost got the steal. Now Mahadi gets the guard. Here's DeCrisio. She'll pull for a three. No good. That's short. Rizzo tries to save it, gets it back to DeCrisio. Nice play. DeCrisio, no good. Slapped around, out of bounds, California ball. DeCrisio not having a good night.
No, she's had a tough time of it tonight, especially only 1 point on the scoreboard, and she's had, just like that, a couple of good shots, but nothing is falling her way or her team's way right now as the Vulcans slowly starting to escalate that lead once again, up right now by 16.
By 16, 9:37. Once again, the Vulcans coming out of that second media timeout. 4-0 run so far. Mahadi, three ball. No good. Harper grabs the rebound. I saw her knee almost buckle there again. Now Hansen storms to the basket too strong. Rebounded by Glenn. Now Frotz is all alone. She found her. Harper charging. Too late. Caitlin Frotz got double digits once again.
I'll tell you what, she went up the court so fast, I didn't even expect that. She was up there, got the layup, and that's the speed and the dangerous style of play that Caitlin Frotz plays. Every team's got to watch out for her.
Here's Carmen. To Harper. Harper goes to the basket uncontested. And when you're up big like that, you can kind of pull off with her storming to the basket. Now Doran already charging back down here and hands it back to Kuko to Glenn to reset. But when you have Harper in foul trouble and you know maybe you don't want to force her to the basket, get a possible 3-4 play. Doran, long shot, no good, rebounded by Kuko.
You can see right there, too, when Kuko rebounded that ball. Apologize for
no
Matt,
problem, no problem.
Jasmine Harper had to kind of let her get that ball.
Mahadi baseline jumper, good. And Mahadi, 4 Vulcan players in double digits now. Mahadi's got 10 as well. And that UPJ defense getting scorched once again. Glenn gets the steal. Now, 2-on-1 break with Frotz. Let's see what she does. Glenn draws the foul on Hansen.
Smart play right there by Mickey Glenn, knowing that she was just going to have a contested shot right there. Goes right to the basket, and she draws the foul as she aggressively tried to put that layup home. And we're going to see a couple of substitutions once again for the Vulcans coming up here soon. It looks like Sierra Barrett, and I believe that's Precious Martin going to come into this game as well.
Now Glenn will go to the line. She was 2 for 2 last time. We haven't seen Precious Martin at all in this game so far. Glenn rims one out, and there's, I feel like I say this every time, remember she misses one free throw, at least one free throw. But, I mean, she's just still solid from the free throw stripe. And Glenn's only got 5 points this game, but she's done so much. Even when Glenn doesn't have the big scoring numbers, she just does so much. Assists, defense, anything. Complete player.
Oh, just distributing the ball, and I've seen that in the last few games as well. When she's not scoring, she's at least part of the scoring play. She distributes the ball well to her teammates, and they put the shots up, and they fall. So
here's Tabone. Hands it off to Rizzo. But Tabone, I mean, this is one of her games that she's played a lot in so far. UPJ trying to work inside. Finally get Harper. No good. Too strong. Martin with the rebound. Here comes Glenn. Glenn to Frotz. Frotz to Barrett. He kicks it out to Glenn. Ooh, almost stolen away there by Rizzo. Glenn works around Harper and Rizzo and puts it in. She's got 8.
Glenn faked the three-point shot right there and then just ducked and covered pretty much under every defender that UPJ had in the box right there. She went up to the basket and got those 2 to fall. And
Harper couldn't be more aggressive because if she gets more aggressive, she might have got called for a foul and got out of the game. Hansen on foul on Mickey Glenn there. I didn't see what happened, but we're going to have our third media timeout here. The Vulcans up 21, and it looks like normal. And Damon, you're from up near Punxsutawney and Brockway, which is not in CUTV's coverage area. And I'm from Eastern Pennsylvania, which is most certainly not in CUTV's coverage area. our parents can't see what we do. Wait a minute, they can. Go on our YouTube page there, CUTV Sports 1, where we put all this broadcast of this game. If you love this game so much as we have, go on our YouTube page and you can watch it as many times as you want. Get our views up, and you can see anything on there. We put coaches' shows, high school roundups from even last semester, match plays coming up. Anything's on there.
And not only that, but you can another way to connect with us as well is on Facebook. Just search California University Television and give us a like. You'll be able to interact with us a little bit, see what shoots we're doing around the area, and just follow along with what CUTV Sports is up to pretty much across the region. So another good way outside of YouTube to stay connected with us here at CUTV Sports.
I mean, and we talk about Facebook. We love our Twitter page too, at CUTV_PA. We always love that when we do our players to watch. If you're getting ready for next game, please suggest us of who maybe you want us to focus on for either Seton Hill or Cal. Seton Hill's come up. Do you want us to focus on Mariah Wells, maybe Kelly Brennan, Megan Mastriani? I mean, I don't know who we're going to pick. Maybe we can be decided by our Twitter page.
Yep, and Twitter is also, another good way to keep interacting as well. So
one thing we don't have is MySpace page, but here's Kelsey Slater. Out of bounds, it'll be California ball, but
well, I'm sure MySpace. I don't know about that one. That one went out of style a little while ago. So
apparently we're going to bring it back though. So stay tuned.
Well, that'll be something for sure.
How about a Tumblr page? That'd be great. Anyway, back to basketball. Mickey Glenn will reset the offense here. 7:04 left. Lana Doran hands it off to Barrett. Hands it off to Precious Martin. And now Barrett and Glenn with 8 points. They could be the next two players with the Vulcans in double digits. That could be 6 players in double digits. Frotz pump fakes. Throws a lob to Barrett. Miscommunication will go out on Harper.
And right there, Frotz, it seemed like she kind of double-stepped. She wanted to go and try to pull up for a shot, then realized that wasn't the best of ideas, so she tried to pass it down low to Sierra Barrett. Luckily, that time off a UPJ defender.
Glenn right to Doran. It's fouled by Slater. Doran read it perfectly, and Slater tried to come back in time, but was too late and gets forced a foul. That will be her second.
Slater, that was a good defensive play nonetheless, even though she got called for the foul. She almost got all ball right there, so that would have been a heck of a block for her. But nonetheless, it's going to send Lana Doran to the line.
65% from the line this season. Coming into this game is Lana Doran. She makes it 14 points now for the transfer from Gardner-Webb, but from England. Doran makes another one, 2 for 2. She's got 15. And she's getting very close to Irina Kuko.
The two leading scorers tonight for the Vulcans. Who would have thought? Irina Kuko and Lana Doran just playing great on the offensive side of the ball.
Here is Rizzo. Stolen away by Barrett. Now Barrett double teamed. Tries to get it, gives it to Glenn. Great awareness there and gives it to Doran. Now up to Frotz thought about it, gives it to Glenn. Glenn puts in the moves. Runs into Harper, she's done. Harper is fouled out of the game.
And that, I'm not quite so sure, Matt, but that was a smart play right there by Mickey Glenn going to the basket towards the player that has 4 fouls in Jasmine Harper, and right there, that's going to do it. But I don't believe that was on Jasmine Harper.
Oh, they called it on Slate. Wow.
So definitely a different call, not what we were expecting.
I saw contact first with Harper. That's why I called that immediately. But Glenn will hit the first free throw here. She's got 9, and there's a possibility that most of the Vulcans could be in double digits by the end of this game, which is incredible. It could be at least 3 more. Glenn's in double digits. So now Frotz, Mahadi, Doran, and Kuko, that's 4. Mentioned Barrett has 8.
And I actually do believe we have 5 now, actually, 5 Vulcans in double digits, so incredible. And Sierra Barrett's the only one that hasn't gotten there quite yet. See if she does move along in this game.
Suddenly a 25-point lead for California, and I believe since that second media timeout, UPJ's only scored 2 points. Well, now they got more as Nicole Carmen hits a long-awaited 3. That's UPJ's first 3-pointer, and I'd say feels like 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. They've had trouble shooting the ball tonight. Again, not getting the bounces, but that's a good 3 right there by Nicole Carmen, getting the open look and taking it.
And Carmen herself, she still has 8 points, so nice game out of her. Frotz hands it to Martin. Martin getting on a score sheet. Too strong, rebounded by Barrett. Fighting with Harper. Now Harper's got to watch out, and Doran gets it back. Over to Frotz, 3 on the shot clock. Got to get some off. Frotz gets fouled by Hansen.
And that time right there, she was looking to just get that shot off with just 3 seconds left. I'm surprised UPJ didn't just let her take that shot in a way, because she was desperate trying to get a shot off, and that time drew the foul, and now she goes to the free throw line.
And Frotz has 10 points so far. I mean, making it a horror show for her former team, not just her, but the whole Vulcan team making it a horror show for UPJ. As Cece Dixon will check in the game for Lana Dorrance once again, as the Vulcans in familiar territory since, I'd say, the Mercyhurst game, up by 20. I mean, for most teams, they'd love to be up by 20, but the Vulcans have been up by 20 in the last couple games since Mercyhurst, as I said, and Frotz makes them both 73-49 California.
And the Vulcans have continued to play good defense. They may not give up, only into the low 50s in points tonight, but they've done a great job once again.
But still, this is the #1 scoring offense in the PSAC, and they've done a great job. And there's more great defense. Jump ball called. It will be California ball. Great defense again.
Yeah, that's right. I was just about to get to that point. Yeah, against the #1 scoring team in the PSAC, I mean, you can't ask for better. Only 49 points to this point in the game. They probably will give up, obviously, a few more to UPJ, but a phenomenal job once again.
Caitlin Frotz will take it back here, just about to get another 5 minutes in this game. Frotz throws 2 players off and reset the offense here. See, again, a lot of the younger Vulcan players on the floor right now. You see Nelson checking, almost miscommunication. Frotz saves it. And we have a veteran out there where Frotz can kind of control these girls. Frotz with a jumper and good. She's got 14. Here's Carmen. And Frotz with the veteran play can calm down these young girls. See a lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors. Carmen with a 3 again. No good. Rebounded by Nelson.
Well, we did see on that last one, Frotz came out of nowhere right in front of us.
Good defense by McCabe. And now the Vulcans, they got to get it over court here. Might get called for 10 seconds. Well, Frotz is trapped. Be a timeout called by Coach Strom. They were getting very close to getting the 10-second rule.
And that was a good timeout call right there by Coach Strom, as she kind of halted that, as the Vulcans were pretty much trapped back in that zone, and UPJ doing a good job with the trap on that last play.
And now, as we have a timeout here, we're going to take a look at the official California Vulcans Athletic Sports page, the redesigned California Vulcans sports page done by our wonderful sports information director, Matt Kiefer. Very user-friendly now, calvulcans.com. You can see profiles in every single team, all the rosters, all the stats, old stats, and to stay up to date with all Vulcan news, just go right to this lovely little website.
That's a very good way to keep up with your favorite Cal sports teams, especially women's basketball. They've had a great season thus far, and going into the playoffs, want to keep track on what they're doing. They got it right there for you at calvulcans.com.
I mean, just anything's possible here. But, even for this, we will not, the next game for the Vulcans, we won't be traveling down to Davidson-Elkins since it's a non-conference game. But if you want to stay and follow both, not the women, just the women's game, but the men's game as well, you can check out both sidearm stats page to keep up to date with both games on this calvulcans.com page.
That's right. It's going to be an off day for us here at CUTV Sports now this upcoming Saturday. But, yeah, good way to follow on to that action right there. So definitely check that out.
And then, I kind of like it that the Vulcans have a team. Because you see, I mean, obviously with PSAC, at least one team needs to take a bye on any given night. But see, Seton Hill, who's off tonight, they aren't playing anyone. They might be a little rusty for the next game. But the Vulcans have another game for both teams. They can get another game, keep the rhythm going, make sure they don't lose it, and carries it over into the stretch run where they have to face Seton Hill and also Gannon.
And the way the Vulcans have been playing, it seems that the momentum just carries over from game to game. We've seen them be up by 20-something points in pretty much the last 3 or 4 games, especially against IUP. So just to continue to play, that helps the Vulcans, I think, more than it hurts them.
Cece Dixon corrals it, hands it off to Precious Martin, gives it to Frotz. Frotz working around Olivia Rizzo, throws her off. Now to Nelson. And these young players getting this much-needed experience because this is the future of the team right here. Dixon to Barrett. 3 seconds shot clock. Gotta get some off. Nelson, no good. Rebounded by Harper. Harper draws a foul on Dixon there. Dixon got very aggressive on Harper. She'll get called there. That will send UPJ into the bonus, and Harper will go to the line.
Oh, and even right there, I mean, it was a good play right there. I believe that was Dixon drawing the foul, but just a good job by the Vulcans getting a shot off. They knew the shot clock was winding down, and that's the experience that these young Vulcans are going to gain. Being in these games late is just kind of getting awareness for what's going on the court as you go along.
Harper will go back to the line here. No good. Rebounded by McCabe. She falls down. It goes out of bounds. California basketball, and that play right there, a theme of UPJ's night. They have a good effort, but it's just not there.
Yeah, that's basically the way it's been going for them, unfortunately, for their side of the ball. Shots are getting taken, but nothing's falling their way, and the Vulcans have taken opportunities off of those missed opportunities for the UPJ.
UPJ trying to set a trap. Now Dixon finds Precious Martin. Too short, rebounded by Harper. And Carmen will get back, but I mean, UPJ got out to that fast start, 7-point lead, but then California came back. Carmen's going to pull for 3. That's her second one of the second half, so nice shot there by her. And this is still a very young UPJ team. It's like another trap here, and it's going to be another timeout. UPJ's bench doesn't like it, but Coach Strom clearly called that timeout there.
That's Coach Strom using her knowledge right there. She knew what the UPJ was trying to do right there, taking advantage of using the timeout right there, so very good job right there by the bench.
And here are the upcoming broadcasts again. California has a Saturday game. We're not going to be there, but hey, feel free to make the trip down I-79 in the West Virginia. It's Valentine's Day. Take your sweetheart there. Have a date with the Vulcan basketball teams. It'll be a great time. I know it. Now, after that, we have our next broadcast next Wednesday against Seton Hill. That's going to be a great rivalry game. Then the big game against Gannon. That is Senior Day. That is Alumni Day. That's Hall of Fame Day. It's going to be a big day, period, in California. And then to close out the season at Slippery Rock, and you see right there. And former Vulcans head coach Darcy Vincent will be there. It's now UPJ running. She's being inducted into the Vulcans Hall of Fame, so definitely will be a great day and a big emotional day for her. As Precious Martin, she was the coach of the national championship team. No good. Cece Dixon with the rebound. Fires at the Martin. Martin can't corral at UPJ ball.
And you can definitely tell here as we wind down to about the last 3 minutes of this game, you can tell that some of the young Vulcans trying to take some shot opportunities, get on the score sheet for their team and try to contribute.
Carmen just slightly bumps into Martin. Will just call it on her.
And that'll send Carmen to the line. She's had one heck of a second half so far, as we're going to see Caitlin Fratz now check out of the game in favor of Mickey Glenn. So still that veteran presence on the court for the Vulcans.
And now we're going to see DeCrisio check out for Olivia Rizzo. So Carmen will go to the line here. She is from Cleveland, Ohio, 77.3% from the line. No good, rebounded by Dixon. And now that's the second straight time UPJ's been to the free throw stripe on a 1-and-1 and missed. So now Mickey Glenn hands it off to Martin. UPJ playing desperate. We're under 3 minutes here. Cece Dixon to Brittany Nelson. Out to Glenn. Now to Sierra Barrett on the baseline. Tries to find Martin. Dixon gigs it back there. Great awareness. Now Glenn with a jumper. And good. Mickey Glenn. She continues to have a nice day. And she is now up to 12.
And good job right there. She knew the clock was winding down. Took that shot. And it just continues to hold on to this lead.
Carmen with a wow. Holy moly. I mean, hey, if you're UPJ, you're down by a lot. You got to like the shot she's been taking.
Well, Nicole Carmen has had a big impact in the second half, making a lot of shots for UPJ, including quite a few threes, and that looked like one of the ones that Caitlin Fratz had this past Sunday, just way behind the arch.
And, I mean, she's 5'10". Normally you don't see a player her size take shots like that, and we're good. Here's Nelson with a jumper, no good, rebounded by Tabone. But UPJ not giving up at all. Gotta like this team. It's a shame this team is on a 7-game losing streak. Good thing. The hard foul there by Sierra Barrett. It's just, I mean, you'd be surprised. UPJ under 2 minutes here. They're going to be on their way to their 8th straight loss. But, I mean, it's a very talented squad. And I look here. They lose Slater. They lose Carmen. Those are 2 losses. Those are 2 big losses right there. But you get Harper back. You get Rizzo back. You get DeCrisio back. That's 3 right there. And I've been impressed with what Olivia McCabe's done tonight. Tabone misses her first free throw here.
Yeah, this is an impressive UPJ team. I mean, they have a lot of talent, and they just got to put it all together, basically. And you're right. If they keep the core group of players that they have right now on this roster for next year, they're going to be a team to watch, especially to challenge possibly the Vulcans next year as well.
And they definitely will, as you see Tabone split the free throws here. 77-56. UPJ's kind of closing. They're trying to trap. Glenn works right around. Hands it off to Barrett. Barrett underneath the basket, puts it in. Sierra Barrett, the 5th player for the Vulcans to get in the double digits. Actually, 6th player. Incredible. 79 points for the California. They had 83 the last time they played UPJ. Carmen goes to the basket, loses the ball, out of bounds. on California.
And for right now, too, of course, the Vulcans trying to get some of these younger players that have filled in here, trying to get them on the board as well. But all the players that have scored tonight for the Vulcans, all 6 of them, you're right, in double digits, just incredible stuff.
Rizzo, quick pass to Harper. Barrett will get called for a foul, and that will put UPJ at the line for a double bonus.
And we'll see what UPJ does with that opportunity. But it would be nice also as well to see some of these younger Vulcans score with about a minute and a half left. But Matt, it's been a heck of a game. We were worried at the beginning there. It came out. It was a different style. We hadn't seen in a while. UPJ coming out with a lot of energy, but as we rolled on through this game, the Vulcans just got back to their style and played a solid game.
I mean, they're desperate. I mean, they need anything. I mean, they have their playoff hopes are starting to get very under pressure by Slippery Rock, by Mercyhurst, and Seton Hills jumped them on Saturday. They almost came back from a 20-point deficit early as Harper hits both free throws here. So she's got hit 20. That's most of any player that's played in this game so far as UPJ trying full court press. Dixon tries to throw it off Harper. Harper gets it back and draws a foul on Barrett. So Vulcans having trouble with that trap they're doing, but again, it's just too little too late.
Yeah, that trap has played very well so far tonight for UPJ. And Jasmine Harper, we talked about she had 4 fouls, and we thought she might foul out at some point, but she's drawing more fouls than she has been lately. So.
And also, she's not dealing with the normal starting Vulcans 5 for most of the second half here. She hits this one 21 points now. But, I mean, yeah, it's true, though. You don't need the attacker. You don't need to take her out of the game. But, I mean, she's lucky she didn't get fouled out really early on that one they called on Slater. But Barrett's got 4 fouls herself now. So Harper hits them both. 19-point deficit for UPJ as Glenn will take it back here. California quick out of the trap in the press. Glenn will set here. 1:19 left here in this game. Now inside. Slater tried to steal to be out on her with 1:14 left.
And now with just that 1:14 left on the clock, the Vulcans definitely just trying to kill off as much of this clock as they can, retain possession. Pretty much this game is a lock for the Vulcans. Could see them go above 80 points, though.
Definitely could. Here's Glenn. Glenn, jumper. No good. Rebounded by Slater. He has to slow up because 2 of her teammates fell behind her. Couldn't get anything set. Here's Carmen. Spin move, puts up the shot, no good. Rebounded by Barrett. We're under a minute here. Now a huge box out here. Glenn's triple team has no help. And it's going to be timeout by UPJ here. So 19-point lead, 47 seconds left. California timeout. I thought I saw the ref point over to UPJ there. But, I mean, UPJ not giving up, but it's still a 19-point game. It's still another impressive performance by the Vulcans here. It sets them up for the stretch run.
Oh, it definitely does set them up for the stretch run. And this is the kind of theme we've seen them have over these last so many games. They've just come out strong, built up a tremendous lead against these teams. The most impressive one against IUP, of course. And they've just held on to those leads. As you go on in the second half, you can play a little bit more laid back, but obviously keep up the intensity, and that just lets you feel comfortable in the last few minutes of a game, knowing you pretty much have it secured down.
I mean, I can't agree more with that statement there, but I mean, it's still great to get these young players in here as Barrett will inbound, hit the Glenn. UPJ again, we're going with the press. Glenn charges around 3 players. She got Nelson with her. Let's see what she does. She'll back up and give it to CeCe Dixon to run more timeout. Very smart play there. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gets to Nelson. Nelson over to Dixon. Dixon with a 3. No good. Rebounded by Carmen. Shot clock is off. So now with 23 seconds here, it's all for stats now for UPJ. Carmen, who's had a good second half, will go to the basket, get it on the fall, and she's had a really good half. 16 points for her now. 16 seconds left. Barrett, the Precious Martin, 13 seconds, will hand it off to Nelson. Nelson will go for a shot, why not? No good, out on CeCe Dixon. But I like that, though. I like that Brittany Nelson, hey, get some more points here.
Yeah, heck, and it looked like UPJ was still playing pretty aggressive with the last 10 seconds.
Exactly,
so.
Why not? Why not at all? But as 4 seconds on 1, Slater will probably take a shot here. Gives it to Tabone. Tabone at the buzzer. She gets the fall, but it doesn't matter. The California Vulcan women with another win to keep their first place standing up.
And that was an impressive comeback for the Vulcans. They seem to be kind of out of it in the first half of this game. So they came back after that second media timeout, and they dominated from there on with another impressive victory here tonight.
Another impressive victory indeed. California stays at pace. IUP has defeated Mercyhurst, so both the top two in the PSAC will stay where they are for yet another day. Well, that will do it for tonight's broadcast from Richland Township. California 79, UPJ 64. Our next broadcast next Wednesday against Seton Hill. For Damon Matson, my name is Matt Hagee for our entire great CUTV crew. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Wednesday.